So before today's video starts, I actually wanted to give a brief shout out to the person that inspired this video. It is a fellow YouTuber who goes by the name of Wow Such Gaming. You might have seen the video that I'm talking about. If not, I would highly recommend it. It is a very thought out and very well done video. So again, I would highly recommend checking out the video. It'll be linked in the description. And again, thank you for the inspiration of this video. And yes, I asked him if it was okay to elaborate on some of the things that he actually mentioned in his video. So that is what we're going to be doing today. I will use some points from his video as well as some points from my own. So anyways, with that being said, again, go check him out. All of his links will be down in the description below along with the video. And without further ado, let's hop into today's video. So, while I stream, I often get one of the same questions. Would you rather live in Rapture or Columbia? Well, I always pick Rapture, but how realistic is that? If the Civil War were going on and I was living in Rapture, what would be the likelihood of me actually living and surviving through Rapture's Civil War? It's pretty slim, and if you do, you have to be very smart and very accurate with what you do. So in today's video, we're going to be elaborating whether you or I, a normal human, would survive in Rapture or Rapture's Civil War in general. So I want to know your thoughts and opinions at the end of the video, and without further ado, let's get into it. For starters, let's look at Wow Such Gaming's reasons for not being able to survive the Rapture Civil War. So the first one he mentions was the division of wealth class, because obviously if there's a civil war, there's going to be a lot of money involved, whether that's to buy more Atom for plasmids or just plasmids in general, weapons, security, etc. So the rich will be completely fine. However, the citizens of Rapture that are already poverty stricken won't have that much, and obviously they'll be the first ones to go. They'll become kind of Eve junkies, and then really they just turn into splicers. And you don't want that, especially running into them. You do not want that at all. The second would be the moral dilemma of harvesting little sisters to gain max Atom per harvest, obviously killing the little sisters in the process. Now, I would have an issue with that personally, because I have two little sisters of my own. And I don't think I would ever be able to do something like that to them, let alone hurt them. So, for me, Atom wouldn't be my salvation. I would have to do something like to hide, or to just try to fight as much as possible with any sort of weapons that I can find. I would not be able to kill a little sister just to get the max amount of Atom. And I don't know, a lot of it is for desperate measures, but again, I just don't think I could personally do it myself. Third, if you were to be an Atom junkie or an Eve junkie, you would have to face the repercussions of the genetic mutation and everything that comes with it. The deformity of the face, the addiction to Adam and Eve, etc. So, again, I think by that point you might overdose because you won't know when enough is enough. So I can completely understand where he came from with that. Next, actually has to do with the addiction. And it says, the addiction of Atom would cause you to harvest little sisters or to harm them. So, why wouldn't you? And he's quite right with that. If you were to be on Atom all the time, why wouldn't you, as a now splicer, want to attack those little girls to be able to get all the Atom you possibly can? Really, it's just because you're a drug addict at that point, and you'll do everything in your power in order to get the Atom. So again, it goes back to the second point. I don't want to hurt a little girl. That's just not right at all. But I do understand that the drug addicts really have no control over themselves, or the Eve and Atom addicts. They don't have any control. So what's stopping them from actually just going after the little sisters? And here's number 5, the Big Daddies. I can guarantee you, if you or I were to come across a Big Daddy while wandering Rapture, I personally would shit my pants. because I would have no way to protect it. I have no plasmids to use because I just don't feel comfortable harvesting little sisters for all the Atom, and the weapons that I have would barely do no damage. So yeah, big daddies. Enough said. The next one is the economic collapse of Rapture due to people taking all of their money out of the bank, bankrupting businesses, potentially flooding foreclosed businesses, killing people who happen to take shelter within said business. And that one speaks for itself. Next, splicers. Splicers would attack you on sight, especially when you first enter Rapture through the bathysphere. What's controlling them? Besides, obviously, Adam, Eve, and the pheromone of the mind control plasmid that's inside of them. So, they see you as a threat, and they'll rip you to shreds. Remember Johnny at the beginning of Bioshock 1? Don't become Johnny. Just a heads up. And then finally, as I mentioned with the genetic mutation of Adam, this one goes hand in hand with that. The side effects of your body from splicers and plasmids, or plasmids being used against you, such as getting electrocuted, getting set on fire, getting flung around, getting stung by bees, etc. So, if you don't splice yourself, you're going to be dealing with a lot of things that can cause you a tremendous amount of pain, or a tremendous amount of just anguish, and then obviously death. Pretty simply put. Now, let's go on to where I want to elaborate on my side of the things here, so here we go. Now guys, let's hop into my side of the story here. So, do I think we would be able to survive Rapture Civil War? Absolutely not. The first point I want to make is something that could potentially lead citizens to become absolutely insane. So Rapture citizens were not allowed to leave the city or have contact with people in the outside world on the surface. This could feel isolated or cause isolation, depression, hopelessness, and overall insanity. If we use a padded white room, for example, which is usually used for medically insane or clinically insane patients that are a danger to themselves, they're usually wrapped in a straitjacket and put in a padded white room. That way, no sound can leave and no sound can enter. If we use that same exact example with Rapture, nobody from the outside world is able to get in, and nobody from the inside world is able to get out. So obviously, I think this could lead to insanity over a long period of time. The second thing is that the roaming and remaining citizens or splicers of Rapture who were extremely aggressive and would do anything, even kill for Adam, were completely and chemically addicted and dependent on Adam. So they would see you as a threat because they want the Adam for themselves. Even if you don't want Adam, they would still see you as a threat and they would eliminate you as soon as possible just to ensure the Adam for themselves. So there's that. Next, people were dying from weapons, plasmid users, splicers, and overdoses. So, how would you be able to survive with people who are carrying weapons, who are using plasmids, or are just splicers in general? How would you survive? As I mentioned earlier, the only way I think you would be able to potentially survive is if you played it absolutely smart. You would have to hide about 23 hours a day and use about 1 hour to try to collect as many supplies as possible. But that is very difficult when you have splicers, you have other plasmid users, big daddies, etc. So that option seems like it's completely out the window. And at my number 4 point, on top of dealing with all of the war going on, the plasmids and splicers, you have to deal with the absolutely frightening big daddies who roam around all of Rapture. Trying to get Adam from the little sisters will more than likely result in you getting completely ripped to shreds by their big daddy or their protector, whichever you want to classify them as. And I know you, and I know myself, if I don't have weapons, plasmids, or anything like that, I absolutely do not want to mess with a big daddy. That's a no-no. So, that option, again, completely out the window. Next, Along with all the previously mentioned obstacles, you'd have to deal with Andrew Ryan, whether that is his security bots or his turrets. Have fun trying not to die or get ripped to shreds by all of the turrets and all of the security bot machine guns that are roaming Rapture at the snap of Andrew Ryan's fingers. So, now I have 3 final things that I'd like to discuss in this video. This next one, however, is probably the most terrifying one that I can think of because I have an irrational fear of drowning. So, with all of the danger lurking within the inside of Rapture, potentially the biggest danger is on the outside of Rapture. What do I mean by that? Well, as you know, Rapture is known to have issues with their tunnels, with leakages, and with repairs of its structures. What happens if you were to be in a room where the glass that protects you from the ocean shatters and thousands of gallons of ocean water pour in, drowning you and whoever else happens to be in that room with you? To me, that's terrifying because then at that point, you know you're going to drown to death. There's no way for you to get to the surface to be able to get the air. There's no way for you to kind of traverse your way deeper into Rapture to find oxygen. And honestly, I think the panic and the struggling of trying to find every last breath would finally get to you. And to me, that is absolutely terrifying. The second is Arcadia. Now, as you know, if you've played the game, all of Rapture's oxygen, and all of the breathable oxygen, I should have said, comes from the trees in Arcadia. As, I guess, referenced within Bioshock 1, Andrew Ryan ends up killing Arcadia, as the player, Jack, or you, end up making a Lazarus vector to bring the trees back to life. Oxygen's restored. Well, what happens if those trees are destroyed and there's no Lazarus vector to actually replenish the dead trees? Again, you would die because of suffocation. So, another terrifying thing to think about. And then finally, eventually you would run out of supplies if you were to have any. These would include things such as weapons, ammunition, food, and water. So, you'd potentially either starve to death or die due to dehydration, on top of dealing with everything that I've mentioned previously, such as potential drowning, Big Daddies, the security bots, the turrets, splicers, etc. So, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, and if there's anything that you can think of, please let me know down in the comment section below. So ladies and gentlemen and members of the Rapture family, that's going to conclude today's video. Again, big thank you to WowSuch Gaming for giving me the inspiration and the okay to make this video. If you happen to watch this, thank you. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed it. As for you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, seeing as this is something that I don't normally do on my channel. So if you want to see more videos like this, let me know down in the comments. Other than that, if you enjoyed the video, would you kindly drop a like? It shows support and I also greatly appreciate it. Also, if you want to join the Rapture family or see the Rapture family grow, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications to never miss a video or a live stream here on my channel, and feel free to share the video with some family, some friends, colleagues, whatever it may be. Let's get the Rapture family growing again. Also, if you want to talk to me outside of YouTube, Twitter, my Discord, and my Instagram are the 3 best ways to do so. The links to those will be in the description below, along with my best playlist of videos. They will be at the bottom. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Take care, and see you guys later.